remind ourselves that in today's world there are a lot of people still persecuted for their faith. The Red Wednesday means that about 100 of buildings in the Czech Republic will be illuminated in red. These buildings include also the Straka Academy, the seat of our government, as well as the Škoda Palace, the seat of the Prague City Hall. This should remind us that religious freedom is not obvious for many people around the world. Until now, the conferences have focused on other continents, but this year, quite surprisingly, we will focus on the good old Europe, because there have been new phenomena that have emerged, like new anti-Semitism. And there have been also new issues pertaining to the borders between freedom of speech and the so-called hate speech. And we have been impacted by new technologies that may be a lot of advantages, but their use can also have a catastrophic impact. So this is all we would like to discuss. I would like to also say that this conference is held by the Institute for Christian Democratic Politics with the support of the Wilfried Martin Center for European Studies, Czech Bishops Conference, Ecumenical Council of Churches in the Czech Republic, and the Federation of Jewish Municipalities. These are the co-organizers of the Red Wednesday as such. And we are very glad that this Red Wednesday is held under the auspices of the Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, Mr. Petr Fiala, Mr. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jan Lipavský, Minister of Culture of the Czech Republic, Mr. Martin Baxa, and Rector of the Charles University, Mrs. Milena Králíčková. We would like to thank Rector for providing these beautiful premises. Unfortunately, Rector of the Charles University could not attend this conference in person, and she will be substituted by her colleague. We would like to say hello, and we would like to say that you should feel at home here. In the Chamber of the Deputies of the Parliament of the Czech Republic, we have got a subcommittee for the support of democracy and human rights abroad. And the president of this subcommittee is Eva Decroix, and she will have some opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me to speak here. We have heard about the big names of those who are holding the auspices, and it's a great honor for me to speak as the first one. I looked into the agenda of your conference, and there will be many distinguished guests. I was supposed to speak after rector of the Charles University, and all the more it's an honor for me. I would like to send you the greetings and a big thank you for organizing this conference. Prime Minister and Minister of Culture told me that I should send you their greetings, and I would like to substitute for them. I wanted to say at the beginning how important it is to speak about religious freedom in today's era. Moderators have mentioned some of the factors. Of course, it is very important nowadays. I also wanted to remember the persecuted Christians, the Uyghurs, the Tibetans. But I also wanted to speak about being terrified of the rise of new anti-Semitism. For example, in France, I've been following the news, and I'm really terrified by what is happening. And I could also speak about the misuse of religious terms when someone wants to promote their political topics. But then I realized that nothing of this is new in this era, because we could see many times that people want to have power over the others, and that's why they misuse religion and the freedom of religion. They prohibit certain religions, and they persecute the believers. Faith is something that unifies the community. And if someone wants to have power over the others, religion becomes very often the tool of persecution and of violence. And unfortunately, this era is not different, but everything seems to be more complicated, less transparent. Maybe this is also due to the digital technologies, which is the subtitle of this conference. Faith is very valuable for me, and it has accompanied my life. And for me, this is very important. Digital technologies, such as faith, can unite us. They can be a powerful tool, but they can also harm the others and damage the valuable things in our life. And they can also be very easily misused by those who want to misuse these tools. This is a huge challenge for us. However, these challenges in the area of freedom of religion, are these challenges new? I think that this is only superficial, because the background has changed, but the story is always the same. In all historical periods, we thought that things were too complex, less transparent, and that the old principles were no longer true. But despite that, all the generations were looking for something important, for the important pillars of existence, the pillars of life and the pillars of our future. And faith is the path towards the essence of our life, the essence of our humanity. And freedom is the framework in which this journey can be finished. Educating towards freedom, free thinking, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. This is the answer to today's challenges, because regardless of the number of religions, the number of continents or states, there is only one humanity. And if we want to fulfill this definition of humanity, it stays the same. And the big people who acted in the name of freedom had the same belief. Live and let live. That's one quote that I like. Another quote, my religion is very simple. And faith is love that is not afraid of anything in the life. And I would like to conclude by these three quotes. You will certainly know the authors of these quotes. All of them come from a different religion, from a different community. However, they are not in contradiction. And it doesn't matter how old these quotes are, because they remain to be the pillars. Faith needs freedom, and faith gives us the freedom of spirit, and this is what we should cultivate, what we should care for, so that we remain to be human and authentic. Thank you for organizing this conference at the premises of the university, and I would like to thank you very much, and it's a great honor for me to be here. Thank you, Eva Decroix. We are glad that among our politicians there are people who consider religion and faith to be an important aspect of life and of society. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming and thanks for your speech. And the opening remarks would not be complete without the speeches of representatives of religious organizations. We would like to hand over now to Roman Czudek from the Czech Bishops Conference, then Petr Jan Vinš from the Ecumenical Council of Churches in the Czech Republic, and Michael Pelíšek from the Federation of Jewish Communities in the Czech Republic.
Postupně vám předáme slovo.
It's a pleasure for me to follow up on what has already been said. Bishop Stanislav Přibyl, when he used to be the General Secretary of the Czech Bishops Conference. We have had great cooperation with the Ecumenical Council of Churches as well as with the Federation of Jewish Communities. The symbol of this day is the red color. And I'm glad that you have come, that no red light has stopped you from coming. The red color is a symbol of stopping, not going forward. And it forces us also to stop for a while. Our people with goodwill should stop for a while and think about how it's possible today in the 21st century that someone is persecuted for faith, for religion. And we would like to cooperate and help these people to have the freedom of religion. We hope that this will be the green light for the future. Thank you. Six years ago, we brought the project of the red color, Red Wednesday, to the Czech Republic. And we thought that we were on the start of a journey and we didn't know where this journey would take us. Now, when I can see you after these 6 years in this conference, when I can see the distinguished guests in the agenda, and when I can see about 100 buildings in which representatives of Christian and Jewish communities gather, and when various public administration buildings cooperate with us and remember those persecuted for faith, and I have the feeling that we are doing something right and that it makes sense. We are living in a country which has unprecedented religious freedom. We can be grateful for that, but it's not something that is straightforward. We need to remind ourselves of this, and we should stand up for those who are not so lucky. This is part of our work, and the topic of today's conference is religious freedom and the digital world. Quite a large part of our lives occurs in the digital world. Unfortunately, the digital world is also a place of bullying, of hate speech, which can also be addressed to believers. For this reason, it is important to focus on these topics and to take into account also the part that is not so visible of the religious pressure, where there is no blood, but which can affect people and their spirits. Thank you very much.
Vážení hosté,
dear guests, let me be a bit personal. Let me remember 101 innocent people who are detained in Gaza for the 418th day. Let me also be personal in sharing with you that for the last year, this last year has been very difficult for us, for the Jewish community. We often have the feeling that we are being left alone, that the world is turning their back to us. But fortunately, it is just a feeling. It is not completely true, because we do have allies, we do have friends. These people who are standing here next to me are a living proof. Thank you very much for that. We are very grateful for your support. And I would like to wish you all a fruitful conference. Thank you.
Tak děkujeme.
Thank you. I am old enough to remember the times when such a conference would not be possible at all on this in this place. If somebody told us that something like this would be happening here, we would send him to an asylum, to a lunatic asylum, because the regime that looked so powerful turned out not to be that strong and that durable. But history teaches us that you never learn from history.